Hello, I'm Chris Williams from Read Comics They're Bad For You, the name of my YouTube channel. Or if you're watching this on BitChute or Library, the name of my channels on those two websites is Comic Freak. We're going to be looking at this article. Doctor Who's Timeless Child revealed breaks Matt Smith's name and regeneration. Yeah, they've destroyed Matt Smith's run of the Doctor by basically having the Timeless Child become canon. The Timeless Child, of course, being the Doctor who's basically been Retcon to be not a Time Lord, but an actual alien from another universe who basically taught the Time Lords how to regenerate. And basically the beginning of this article is praising all of that. But it does still mention the ramifications for Matt Smith's 11th Doctor, namely that his name was so important because it was a secret has basically been reduced down to basically nothing. And other parts we'll get into eventually, but also the fact that the alien origin of the Doctor being out of this universe and not of Gallifrey basically makes everything like the name and the other important parts we're going to be looking at completely meaningless. So let's get into this article and see how they've screwed up now. The amount of regenerations a Time Lord possesses isn't exactly a clear-cut piece of Doctor Who canon, with the title character often muddying the waters by making comments about regenerating endlessly or not knowing how many bodies still remain. It's generally accepted, however, that a Time Lord can regenerate a total of 12 times, giving 13 different versions of the same being. When none of those lives remain, that Time Lord's next death will be a permanent one, except for special circumstances where the Time Lord leaders can grant a brand new cycle of regenerations and extend a Gallifreyan's life. Yeah, the fact that they gave him a new cycle of lives is completely meaningless now because one of the retcons of the Timeless Child is that she had unlimited lives, so that makes the fact that they granted Matt Smith a new cycle completely meaningless. The Doctor himself reached the limit of his regeneration cycle a little earlier than expected in 2013. Although Matt Smith was technically only the 11th Doctor, the 10th Doctor's aborted regeneration after being shot by a Dalek, and John Hurt's banished War Doctor both counted towards the limit, making Smith the last of his run. The 11th Doctor decided to spend his dying days protecting the planet of Trenzalore, with his mere presence causing a stalemate between the Time Lords and a waiting reception of classic Doctor Who villains since Time Lords still age. Matt Smith's Doctor grew old during his noble stand on Trenzalore and drew close to death, but the words of Claire Oswald convinced the Time Lords to bestow the Doctor with a brand new regeneration cycle, allowing him to defeat the Daleks and regenerate into Peter Capaldi. And because of this horrible retcon, they've made the Doctor the source of all regenerations for Time Lords, basically saying he's the most special thing ever, or she is the most special thing ever, because we just need that. However, the Timeless Child, they have it written as the Timeless Children, I don't know why they do, confirms that the 12 regeneration limit was put in place by the Time Lords after they stole the ability from the Doctor. As the Timeless Child and the originator of regeneration, therefore the Doctor should be able to regenerate indefinitely, or at least have a much higher limit yet to be discovered. There are two potential explanations that allow the Timeless Children and the time of the Doctor to coexist. The Time Lords might have pretended to give the Doctor a new regeneration cycle, but actually just killed him and triggered the next one, maintaining the pretense that their runaway dandy was subject to the same laws as the others, when in truth he would have regenerated naturally anyway. Alternatively, it's possible that as part of the memory wiping process, the Doctor was artificially fitted with the same 12 regeneration limit as the rest of the species. Giving explanations for how they basically had the Timeless Child explained to us and saying it can coexist with the time of the Doctor is basically all fan fiction, so you shouldn't basically dwell on that too much. And that's a poor way to explain something like the Timeless Child to the audience. How the Timeless Child makes the first question worse. Yes, as I said earlier, we were going to get into how they basically destroyed the fact that the Doctor's name was supposed to be so special, but as we read this part of the article, we realize now it isn't. Aside from the regeneration issue, Doctor Who contradicts the Matt Smith era again with the first question, a plot thread first seeded while Russell T. Davies was showrunner in the 10th Doctor's era of Doctor Who revealed that its hero had a birth name that only the mysterious River Song seemed to know by virtue of having married the Doctor sometime in her past, but his future, when Stephen Moffat took over the Doctor Who reigns, he continued to pull on that thread, teasing that the real name of the Doctor might just be revealed. And we can all thank the Timeless Child retcon for doing this. But as you can see in this article, it has this weird way of basically insulting the entire 13th Doctor run by basically saying, even though we are for what they've done here, we basically see it's basically breaking canon, and basically it's making the fans angry at what is happening, because all those episodes they've watched and basically loved have basically been thrown to the gutter. It later transpired that the Doctor's name was central to Matt Smith's time in the TARDIS. His enemies ominously foreshadowed that silence will fall when the question is asked, and the question ultimately turned out to be the Time Lords asking for the Doctor's name as a sign that it was safe to return to the universe. If that name was spoken, the Time Lords would emerge, triggering another gargantuan war. Entire religions were formed around getting the Doctor to not reveal his name, and eventually the moniker was left a secret, and the aura of mystery around the Doctor's birth name maintained. And if you think that teasing was basically annoying, well, it's not as annoying as what they've done with the Timeless Child and basically making the Doctor's name completely meaningless. Since the Timeless Child arc confirms the Doctor isn't actually from Gallifrey, the meaning of the character's real name is significantly lesser. Again, there are a couple of plausible explanations. On one hand, the Doctor's name, the one known only to River Song, could be from the character's actual planet of origin, from beyond the boundary. This makes the mystery even more important to Doctor Who, but also removes the intrinsic connection to the Time Lords. More likely is that the Doctor had no idea what their real name was when discovered by Tectron, and whatever her Time Lord name is, it's just something given by the inhabitants of Gallifrey. The entire notion of the first question in Silence Will Fall means a whole lot less knowing that the Doctor's real name was actually just another title all along. Yeah. And as you can see, this article is weird. It basically comes off praising, but also insulting in a very real way what they've done with the Doctor. Predictably, the Timeless Child reveal has courted a mixed reception from fans, with some very excited about Doctor Who's wide-open future and others frustrated that over 50 years of canon has just been remolded. Truthfully, a proper verdict won't become clear until Doctor Who Season 13, where the full direction of the Timeless Child and its impact on the Doctor will begin to unveil. Whether Doctor Who's updated history proves a roaring success or an unmitigated disaster, however, the inconsistencies mentioned above need to be addressed, and with more than just a throwaway line admitting Doctor Who's continuity isn't watertight as occurred in Season 12's premiere. Yeah, as you can see, they're still trying to praise what happened and say that we just need to wait and watch what will happen to know that it's such a great thing. But the fact that Doctor Who is bleeding viewers and is now its lowest point ever, possibly, I doubt that anyone will come back to see what they've done with this new retcon, because they hate the fact that they've destroyed the lore of Doctor Who. The Doctor isn't a Time Lord anymore. He's always been female, and we need that be told to us so badly because Chris Chibnall is a complete moron, and Jodie Whittaker's Doctor is not really the Doctor. Literally. She hardly has a presence in her own show. Her three companions basically make up most of the plot, and basically she's not even a Time Lord anymore. So she's not the Doctor at all. She's just maybe, hopefully, a hallucination that Peter Capaldi's Doctor was having as he was basically regenerating. If they do that, I forgive what they did with seasons 11 and 12 if they completely destroy and retcon these whole seasons out of continuity. I mean, something must be done. The fans are in a total uproar over this reveal, and they freaking hate the Timeless Child. They don't want that. They want the Doctor, the Gallifreyan Doctor, the alien in the blue box who goes around and basically does the best he can. No, Jodie Whittaker's Doctor is not the Doctor. She's not even a faux Doctor. She's not the Doctor. She's not even a Gallifreyan Time Lord. She's some alien from another dimension who basically came in and took the Doctor's place, and now we have her instead of the actual Doctor. An annoying little British girl who can't even be more compelling than her own companions. And that is one of the biggest travesties of this. She doesn't act like the Doctor. She's not making grand speeches of this planet will be protected, or I am the Doctor. You know, those great speeches that David Tennant would make in his run. No, we don't have that anymore. We have Jodie Whittaker basically being Jodie Whittaker, and that's it. And that is not the Doctor. If you like this video, subscribe. Make sure you're still subscribed because YouTube is going around unsubscribing people, so make sure you're still subscribed. If you're watching my videos but you're not subscribed, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Read comics, they're bad for you. Then go over to Library and BitChute and subscribe to my channels on those two websites. They're both named Comic Freak. Hit that bell for notifications, hit that like button, and leave some comments down below. And if you could you also please share this video? Share it on Twitter, share it on Reddit, and share it on Facebook. books. Share it anywhere you think it'll do the most good, because YouTube is not going around promoting their own YouTube creators anymore. So please share this video. Now listen closely. It's that time of the day again. Keep checking back in all my future videos for more information on my own upcoming independent comic book scumdogs. I'm Chris Williams, and I'll be back again tomorrow with another video or review.